Hello dear students, welcome to physics class of PU2. We have been discussing about the chapter electromagnetic induction. In the previous class we have discussed what is self-induction, what is back EMF, what is coefficient of self-inductance, and what is the SI unit of self-inductance, that is Henry, and its definition. And we have derived the expression for the self-inductance of a long solenoid, and we have discussed what is electrical inertia. That self-inductance is called as the electrical inertia. So what is self-inductance? We have discussed in the self-induction, that we have discussed in the previous class. The phenomenon of induction of EMF in a coil due to change of current in the same coil, that is called as the self-induction. Now what is a mutual induction here? The phenomenon of induction of EMF in one coil due to the change of current in the neighboring coil is called as the mutual induction. What is mutual induction? The phenomenon of induction of EMF in one coil due to the change of current in the neighboring coil is called as mutual induction. Now let us discuss this mutual induction in detail. So let us consider here the two coils A and B, which are placed side by side without touching each other. That means both are placed in a same plane. The coil A, which is connected to a battery with a tap key or the switch. The coil A, I have considered here the two coil, that is coil A and coil B. The coil A is called as the primary coil and the coil B is called as the secondary coil here. That coil A, which is connected to a battery in series, and also it is connected to a tap key or switch, right? So the coil A is called as the primary coil. And again the coil B, which is called as the secondary coil, which is connected to a galvanometer, and it is called as the secondary coil here. So we have two coil here, A and B, primary and secondary, which are placed side by side without touching each other, placed in the same plane. The coil A is connected to a battery in series with switch, that is a tap key, and the coil B is connected to a galvanometer. So see here from the figure, when the switch is closed, that means when the key is pressed, the current in the coil A increases from 0 to maximum. When the key is pressed, right, in a coil A, when the key is pressed, the current in the coil increases from 0 to maximum. When current is passed through a coil A, right, that current produces the magnetic field. That current produces the magnetic field, which is linked to what? Both coils here, coil A and B. When current is passed through a coil which produces the magnetic field, and that magnetic field linked to what? Both coil A and coil B. As the current in the coil increases, in the coil A the current increases, the magnetic flux linked with the secondary coil, that is the coil B, also increases. The magnetic field or the magnetic flux, right, as the current in the primary coil, that is in the coil A, increases, the magnetic flux linked with the coil B, that is secondary coil, also increases. Therefore, according to electromagnetic induction, whenever the magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, an EMF is induced in the coil. So as a result, an EMF is induced in the coil, that is in the secondary coil B. And this induced coil opposes the growth of current in the primary coil, that is in the coil A. Because of what? According to Lenz's law, the EMF induced in a coil B It is due to what? The change of current in the coil A, that is by increasing the current in the coil A. Therefore, it opposes the growth of current in the coil A. Right? Again, when the key is released, the current in the primary coil decreases from maximum to 0. When the key is released, the current in the primary coil, that is in the coil A, decreases from maximum to 0. Again, there is a magnetic field linked with the coil decreases. Right? The magnetic field linked with the secondary coil decreases. As a result, again an EMF is induced in the secondary coil, right, which opposes the decay of current or the decrease of current in the primary coil. So what happens here? Whenever the current is changed in the primary coil, that is coil A, an EMF is induced in the secondary coil. So this is called as mutual induction. Right? The current, whenever the current is changed in the primary coil, that is in the coil A, and EMF is induced in the secondary coil. This is called as mutual induction. That means what? The phenomenon of induction of EMF in one coil due to change of current in the neighboring coil. So you have to remember this definition. Right? The phenomenon of induction of EMF in one coil due to change of current in the neighboring coil is called mutual induction. Right? Now, what is the coefficient of mutual induction? The magnetic flux linked with the one coil is directly proportional to the what? The current through the neighboring coil here. That means what? The magnetic flux linked with the coil B is directly proportional to what? We are passing the current through the coil A. Right? Therefore, the magnetic flux linked with the coil B is directly proportional to the current through the coil A. That means pi is directly proportional to I. And here we write the proportionality constant M. Here M is called as the constant of proportionality. It is called as coefficient of mutual induction, or it is also called as mutual inductance of pair of coils here. Right? Well, if you are following, very simple point. Coefficient of mutual induction, it is what? Right? The magnetic flux linked with the coil B is directly proportional to what? The current through the neighboring coil. That means as we increase the current through the coil A, right, the magnetic flux with the coil B also increases here. Therefore, pi is equal to M into I. Here M is called as the coefficient of mutual induction. And now, from Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, what we can write here? E is equal to induced EMF in a coil B, a secondary coil. It is equal to what here? Minus d pi by dt, where minus sign is accordance to what? The Lenz's law. Therefore, minus d by dt of M into I. Right? Replace pi by M into I here. Therefore, E is equal to, take the constant of proportionality outside the bracket, so you will get E is equal to minus M into di by dt. Right? Then, so this is the expression for what here? E is equal to minus M into di by dt, which is the expression for the induced EMF in a secondary coil. E is equal to minus M into di by dt. Now, the definition of mutual inductance here, the definition of mutual inductance between the pair of coil, it is numerically equal to the induced EMF. So, when M is equal to E, the definition of mutual inductance here, right, M is equal to E. If di by dt is equal to 1, the rate of change of current through the coil is unity. The mutual inductance between the pair of coil is numerically equal to the EMF induced in a coil when the rate of change of current through the neighboring coil is unity. So this is the definition of mutual inductance. And the SI unit of mutual inductance is also Henry. Right, now let us define the Henry here. The mutual inductance between the pair of coil is said to be 1 Henry if 1 volt of EMF is induced in a coil due to the rate of change of current through the another coil is 1 ampere per second. Right. So as we defined the Henry in previous case, self induction, the same way we have to define in mutual inductance also. The mutual inductance between the pair of coil is said to be 1 Henry if 1 volt of EMF is induced in one coil due to the change of current. The rate of change of current in the another coil is 1 ampere per second. So this is all about the mutual inductance. What is the phenomenon of mutual inductance and its expression, and what is mutual inductance, and how to define 1 Henry in accordance to what? The mutual inductance. Right. Now the next point, let us discuss here the about inductor. What is the device inductor, and let us derive the expression for the energy stored in a inductor. So with the discussion of what is self-induction and what is mutual induction, now let us derive here the next expression, that is the energy stored in an inductor. What is an inductor? So likewise what we have discussed, resistor, capacitor, what is the function of resistor, of resistance R, capacitor, of capacitance C. So similarly, what is an inductor, of inductance L? Inductor is a device which opposes the any change of current flowing through it. It is called as what? The inductor here. It is a device which opposes the any change of current flowing through it. That is called as the inductor. And it is the inductor of inductance is denoted by the symbol L. Right? This is the circuit symbol for inductor. Right? This is the circuit symbol for inductor. So as we have denoted here. So it is connected to a battery. Now let us derive here the expression for, you all know that the circuit symbol for resistor, capacitor. So similarly, the inductor of inductance L, the circuit symbol for the inductance is as shown in the figure here. Right? It is connected to a battery. Now here we have to derive the expression for the energy stored in a inductor. When a current flowing through an inductor, you all know that, or when a current flowing through a inductor changes, a back EMF is induced in it. What happens when a current is flowing through a inductor is changes, a back EMF is induced in it. So yaವಾಗ current flow ಆಗ್ತದೆ through the inductor, ಅದು change ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು change ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? back EMF induce ಆಗ್ತದೆ. back EMF ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ರಿ? which opposes the change of current, as we have discussed in self induction. Right? Whenever the current flowing through inductor changes, right, when a current flowing through an inductor changes, a back EMF is induced in it, and that back EMF opposes the change of current in the circuit. So finally what happens then? To establish the current, the external work must be done. So next now increase ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ current ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ establish ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ external work ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That external work done will be stored in the inductor as the magnetic potential energy. Now we have to derive the expression for that energy stored in the inductor as a magnetic potential energy. So what happens here? The inductor which opposes the any change of current flowing through it. Right? So why this inductor is used? It is used to restrict the alternating current. So in those cases these inductor devices are used. So what happens here? When a current flowing through an inductor changes, a back EMF is established. What happens here? The back EMF is induced in it. So as a result, this induced back EMF opposes the change of current. Right? The induced EMF opposes the change of current. It is called as the back EMF. So now to establish the current in the inductor, we have to do the work. Now ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ current establish ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ರೆ inductor ಒಳಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ್ರಿ? We have to do the work, right, by an external source. So after doing the work, ನಾವೇನ್ extra work ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ, that work done will be stored in the inductor as the magnetic potential energy. Now let us derive the expression for the work done that will be stored in the inductor as magnetic potential energy. Suppose a small amount of delta W amount of work done to establish the current I in the coil in time dt. So in a small interval of time dt, to establish the current I against the back EMF, dW amount of work is done. Inductor through current change aitandre ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತ್ರಿ back EMF induce ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. That back EMF, induced back EMF opposes the change of current through the inductor. So again, to establish the current in the inductor, we have to do the work, external work. That amount of work done will be stored in the inductor as magnetic potential energy. So suppose dW amount of work done to establish the current I in small interval of time dt. Therefore, that the rate of work done is given by what? The rate of work done to establish the current I in a small interval of time dt, that is equal to dW by dt is equal to minus E into I, where E is what? Where E is the EMF induced in the coil, and it is given by where E is EMF induced in the coil. EMF induced in the coil, and this induced EMF is given by the expression E is equal to minus L into di by dt, right? So self induction of the coil here, E is equal to minus L into di by dt, right? Again, from these two expressions, in this expression let us substitute the value of E here. Therefore dW by dt is equal to minus, and this E is equal to what here? Minus L into di by dt. Therefore this becomes plus. So what we can write here? In place of E, let us substitute this value. Therefore L into di by dt, and minus into minus, what happens here? Plus, right? Again one term we have to write, that is this I we have to write. So in place of E, we have to substitute this L into di by dt, and this I written here, right? So the rate of work done is equal to what? L into di by dt into I. Therefore dW is equal to what we can write here? dW is equal to L into I into di. So this is the dW what we have got here. dW is equal to what? L into I di. So this is the small amount of work done to establish the current I. Now what is the total amount of work done to establish the current I? That can be calculated or integrating by this expression from 0 to I. So this is the small amount of work done to establish the small amount of current I. So what is the total amount of work done to establish the current from 0 to I? That we have to calculate here. This is a small interrupted delta t or dt. So in total time, what is the total amount of current we established this? That is I. Therefore, now let us calculate this total amount of work done by integrating this expression from 0 to I. So this is the small amount of work done, right? Therefore, the total work done in establishing the current, the total work done to establish the current, the total amount of work done to establish the current, the total amount of work done to establish the current I, that can be obtained by integrating the equation, by integrating the dW from I equal to 0 to I equal to. So total amount of work done ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ current ಅನ್ನು 0 ದಿಂದ maximum value I ಗೆ increase ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Let us calculate this. So this is the expression for dW is equal to what here? L into
I into di. Now let us integrate this expression from 0 to I. Therefore, integrating this expression, dw is equal to 0 to I. This is equal to L into L is constant here. Let us take outside the integral. So 0 to I into di. So after integrating this expression, so dw is equal to w, right? Integration of I is I square divided by 2. So limits are what? 0 and I here, right? Now let us, after integrating what we have got here, that is I square divided by 2, integration from 0 to I. So therefore w is equal to what here? Let us substitute upper limit, that is, so one more expression here, that is L. So let us first substitute here the upper limit minus lower limit. So upper limit is equal to what? I square divided by 2. So when you substitute lower limit, that is 0, that whole term becomes 0. Therefore w is equal to what? L into 1 divided by 2, L I square. So this is what the total amount of work done in establishing the current from 0 to maximum current, right? 1 by 2 L into I square. But according to the definition, what happens here? The amount of work done will be stored in the inductor as the magnetic potential energy. Therefore, by definition, what happens here? What we can write here? By definition, this W is equal to U. The amount of work done will be stored in the inductor as magnetic potential energy. Therefore, U is equal to, the expression for the energy stored in an inductor is equal to 1 divided by 2 L I square. Therefore, U is equal to what here? 1 divided by 2 L I square. So this is the expression for what? The energy stored in an inductor. So this is a very important derivation for 3 marks. So in the annual exam they may ask it for 3 marks, right? So very simple derivation here. The inductor which opposes the change of current flowing through it, right? Whenever the current flowing through inductor changes, a back EMF is induced. And that induced back EMF opposes the change of current. Again, to establish the current in the inductor, we have to do the work. That work done will be stored in the inductor as the magnetic potential energy, right? So that is the expression for the energy stored in an inductor is equal to what here? 1 divided by 2 L I square, where L is what? The self-inductance of the coil, right? So this is the derivation, very important. In the next point, we'll discuss about the next point of the electromagnetic induction, that is about AC generator. So what is the AC generator, what is the principle, and what is the working and its theory we have to discuss. That is also a very important point to discuss the next chapter, that is alternating current, right? We'll discuss the AC generator in the next video. Thank you.